Well, we've been here in Oklahoma City for a full week for different parts of different meetings, and we gave it a good shot. We were present. It was important to be here. We talked to a lot of people. I know from my years of work in this that if Love Prevails or another group actively asserting the names and the lives of gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and queer people, then there will be total silence without us. So I am happy to report that we were able to withstand the week, took our opportunities as we could to try to make a difference. We won't know what the difference is, but the words were spoken.
I'm sort of at a loss. It was a hard week, and just as us forever in the role of educating our oppressors.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of educating our oppressors. And
very tired.
Waiting for the stupidest, meanest person in the world to come round before we'll have our equal rights.
Luckily, we're not waiting for that.
Yeah. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count how many times bishops or bishop spouses tried to convince me how powerless they were.
Wow.
And they mistake powerlessness for gutlessness. And they're not powerless, they're gutless. And I'm thankful for the bright spot in the week was our Native American friends, Chabon Colonel, who brought us together for dinner one night with his family and fed us stew and fry bread. And then yesterday, the folks at Norman First American who extended hospitality to us, to their pastor Justine Smith, they were wonderful, and we're thankful for the hospitality that was extended to us, but it certainly wasn't from our spiritual leaders.
It is amazing to see these folks together, avoiding these topics. We're in Oklahoma, where marriage equality is new, where over 100 clergy in this conference have said, we will marry you. This is going on in the Methodist Church. They welcomed us to worship at St. Stephen's the first Sunday. Amy's going to preach at Epworth tomorrow, the second Sunday that we're here. Some wonderful people being in ministry in their local churches, and yet it wouldn't come up at all within the leadership until it's that moment where it's so important, we're so controversial that it's a harm to the church. It just baffles me. I have a deep frustration with people who understand themselves to be allies, yet think the best thing they can do is not much. The best thing they can do is hide gay people, or not bring up the subject, or work behind the scenes, or don't say the words LGBT because I don't know, and they're identified as self-identified as allies. We got to spring the truth. We used to say that at your trial. We got to spring the truth.
Yeah, I don't know how many folks came to me and said, well, you know, what can we do? And my answer finally in the end was, I can tell you what to do, but I know you won't do it, because what I will ask you to do will mean taking a risk and being vulnerable and maybe actually having to give up some privilege. So while I can certainly lay out a way forward, wow, I've come to hate that phrase too. A way forward, we know that the will does not exist to actually travel down that path. So I'm very frustrated. You get a chance to see how the sausage is made when you're here. We can see how the gay people were pitted against the Native American people, and the Native Americans were pitted against the gay people. And none of our doing, none of their doing, but the folks are just trying to pit minorities against minorities, and luckily we have a good enough relationship with enough folks that we were able to expose that.
Years ago, when Amy in Texas book came out, and you were doing those signing places, you put a Bible verse in there, and I picked it up when I was in front. I called you in the middle of the night at the Cleveland General Conference to get that Bible verse. You have treated the wounds of my people carelessly, crying peace, peace, when there is no peace. Jeremiah.
So every time, you know, they want to shake our hands and offer us grace and peace, grace and peace. They're offering us grace and peace with their mouth and then withholding it from us. It's sinful. And I don't know what hurts worse is the pure hatred, if it's the people who are completely indifferent, or if it's our friends that just don't know what the hell to do with us and just want to have a well-organized meeting and we keep fucking that up for them. So it's just, it's very discouraging, and
it was hard to take the words grace and peace on Saturday morning at the live stream. I chuckled when you said that because we named the 2 police officers, Oklahoma City police officers were there to greet us. And we renamed them Grace and Peace.
Yeah. Well, and just the idea that police needed to be in place before Love
we got
Prevails
there.
even got there is this perpetuating this fallacy that the church isn't a danger to us, it's that we're a danger to the church. When in fact we give, you know, everything we have to try to make this church whole, and we get met with police officers and folks at doors keeping us out. I do need to give a shout out to the folks at Epworth United Methodist Church who midway through the week invited us to a dinner and worship, and it was outstanding, and it felt like community, and it felt safe, and it's just amazing how many times we had to leave the presence of our United Methodist bishops in order to feel whole and human. It couldn't happen there. We had to leave campus to get treated like human beings.
But there's some good Methodists around.
Yep, there are.
Glad to be in touch with them.